Okay, so this part kind of screwed up. I didn't record it because I didn't know where the hell I was gonna go with it. It was pretty damn difficult, so I had a lot of trial and error to get this one to work. The goal of this is to have some sort of tensioning system for this belt. Right now you see how it's just flopping. So the way this belt goes is it goes that way and comes back this way. The way you want to go is have your bandsaw pull the blade through the cut. So it goes that way and it comes back this way. I just decided to do the tension here because I don't want this belt to be in the way of when I'm cutting. Or I ended up making, so I have this pulley here, and ended up taking a piece of circular tube, putting a smaller piece inside here of solid round stock. This is the idler pulley, which is going to go like so, like this, and then I need it somehow to actuate, and whenever it does I need it to lock, and I need full adjustability. So with this, just held in by a cotter pin right there, so I can put more washers in there on either side to get it exactly where I want it. I'll probably get it pretty close and then just let it go back and forth. It's not too big of a problem. Is that this pulley is in order or in line with it. It's not like this, it's not like this. And then obviously whenever I pull it, it tightens it up. So I ended up welding down below another piece of this pipe, and I'll show it to you here in a second. That's hollow, and it can fit this guy here inside of it, and on the other side it fits the other piece of this. So the pipe right down here, and then this guy mates with it. The other thing I did to create adjustability is see these pipes, I can fit them inside of each other. I took all thread rod right here, and this can spin here. It's just not spinning too freely. It's got some gunk on it. But this end part here can spin like that. This nut's welded on here. This nut is welded on here, welded onto this piece. That's a washer that was on there. So it was a tube like this with a washer and then a nut on there. And then I drilled 2 holes, put nuts there, and I'll show you the reasoning for that. Is whenever this guy's on there, it's got a lot of slop. These being on the corner will push it this way, and when that's all tightened up, this one doesn't reach because I extended too far. But whenever that's on there, see the play's turned in a lot less, and then if I actually crank it down, it really deadens the play. The only play you really get is what this has within the shaft and the bearing here. So getting back to it, I also left this guy here, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm going to put this down here like so. So my idea is pull this tight, release when I don't want it to work. And then I still got to make a collar for this to kind of hold it in place so it doesn't really grab like that. So when it's not being tensioned, it'll be like this. When it is being tensioned, obviously it'll be like that. Because right now, even when I loosen it, it still kind of grabs. And the collar will be mounted right here on these bolts. I'll figure out something there. I haven't figured that out, and I haven't tightened this guy down, so he's kind of still moving around. The next piece that I made, this guy here. You look on this end, it's a nut on a piece of little pipe, that larger pipe that fits in that rod. The other side has that same type of pipe, and I can put a rod inside there. So what I do with this, put this in here, and the nice part about this is I can come back and I can move the nut around to give me more or less tension. So, you know, if I'm not getting enough pull with this, well, I can tighten this up, and I can tighten this up and move the nut back and forth right there. The last piece that I made, and this is the critical part here, I'll show you why in a moment, is I made this lever, which isn't finished yet, but this is my design so far. I need to clean all this up. Right there and there. So if you look, obviously these 2 pins are not on the same axis, and that makes it so that you can cam it over. So it goes over here, slide this on through, then Yeah, that's all being held right there. That's on here. I still need to create some sort of retention and all that on there. Make sure it doesn't slide off. This is where the magic happens. Now when this moves over, you see how it's tightening over here? And that goes in a little bit more. I still gotta create a bunch of different little retention deals on here. But you can see how that's moving there. Since these two are on the same plane here, the nice thing that happens is, and I also had to lift this up. So what this allows me to do is, if I didn't lift it, it would stop right here and it might hold it. But what you really want is for it to go past, so we'll say this is 0. You want it to go past 180 so that it's fighting to go around the other way. So yeah, if you say this is 0, goes all the way around, and it fights to come back this way. So you do lose this, and the rate of travel right there at 180 is your max tension. So you do lose this amount here, which I can adjust. I'm gonna put a little nut here and a bolt to adjust that. But I can also move this over and see where this is gonna catch and make it tighter or looser, whatever I want it to do to cam that over. But see how it tightens the hell out of that belt? So yeah, that was what I came up with. I had to do a bunch of different little welds on this, and it was just a big work in progress. I got so far, and then this wasn't right, that wasn't right. So I did a shit job of actually recording all this. So I'm just kind of going over it now. I'll show you underneath how I attach this, but it's just a little tiny pipe, and that's what all this rotates on. That's the majority of what I did, is just a bigger pipe on a smaller pipe. So here's a look at the underside. This is that pin I told you that was welded on there. Or this is the pipe that's welded on and has a pin inside of it. I gotta get a way to retain it. What I'll probably do is drill a hole through here and put a cotter pin all the way through. That goes through the pin itself. But that's how it retains itself there. You can see this is all that top piece that rotates. So I'll go rotate it. You can kind of see it move. Like there, that's the minimum. Moves up here, max, min, max,